Hello everybody and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home. Today we're going to put some thrifted items together along with this handcrafted piece here and make a cute gathering of items as home decor, like a home decor set slash vignette. And I just have this wood piece of fence board here that I cleaned up, and now I'm going to be sanding it and making sure I get all the corners and kind of round them out and take off all that old wood layer that's on the top, exposing still the weathered wood look that's underneath all this top layer. And I'm just going in with my orbital sander. It's not an orbital, with this hand sander, electric sander, and I'm just coming in and repeating that process for both the front and the back of the piece. And I'm just going to come in with my brush and wipe all this dust and dirt from the piece, and then we're going to get started with the process. Now, on my thrift video, I had thrifted these two graters, and I'm going to use one of those graters for this piece. And now I come in and clean that and wipe that off. What I think I'm coming in here is just a sealant spray, but in fact it is a white spray, and you see me pause there because I realize it's white. And now we're just going to go for it, because guess what? There's no turning back once the paint's on there. I guess I could have sanded it off, but I didn't. I chose to just go with the process here. And I'm just taking one of my brushes I have on hand, and I'm just smoothing out all that paint, and so it's not so blotchy, and I'm blending it in and making it look like it's been there and the wood has been weathered for a while, and adding this color and layers of texture and paint to it. Now, of course, we're going to come in with our DIY here and add some dark wax. And I'm going to go heavier on the edges, the top and the bottom, and pull the paint down and start from the bottom and pull the paint up. And I'm just going to do that just for the front of the piece. Now for the back of the piece, I will be sealing that with a Rust-Oleum clear coat to protect the wood and everything. And now let's just go over the sides and make sure we got all that wax on. Now this piece here that I'm going to be working with was a thrifted piece, and like I told you, it was it's a cheese grater, an old cheese grater. Now I'm just trying to figure out how my spray can works, because I am going to come in and spray this piece so that I can go ahead and add in the pieces that I want in decor. And now this is the Rust-Oleum matte sealer, and I'm just going to spray this piece thoroughly. And I know I have wax on this side, but it wasn't a lot of wax, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray this side also. And now we're going to add the cheese grater after I smooth out all that and make sure that Rust-Oleum clear coat didn't puddle. And here's the cheese grater that I keep trying to talk about, but it still keeps taking forever to come on the video. So I'm just going to go ahead with my staple gun, and I'm going to apply the grater to the wood piece, and I'm just going to staple the tops, the sides, and the bottoms, and repeat that process to secure my piece onto this board. Now, if you saw my video from Hobby Lobby, you'll see that I got this greenery bush that I love to work with, and I'm just going to cut off some 2 sprigs of greenery, and I'm going to add that to this piece. Now I feel that it needs to come kind of floral, so I went in my stash and I found this cute little white rose, and I might have tried to use it for a different product because the stem's already cut. So I'm going to go ahead and layer that rose in between the 2 stems of greenery, because I don't want the stem to really be exposed. And I'm going to cut my piece of twine, and I'm just going to wrap that around the stem, and then I'm going to tightly bind it so that all three pieces are securely held together. And I'm just going to knot it here. And once I knot it here, I am going to come back in with my staple gun and staple this piece onto the board. And here I am just tying a little bow. And when I staple the piece, I'm going to go under the first layer of greenery and staple so the staple doesn't show. And right here, I'm just like always going in and cleaning up the twine so that it has a nicer look to it and getting all those flyaways. Now here's where I attach the piece, and I'm lifting up the first layer and I'm going to staple under that so that the top layer of the greenery hides that staple. And this was a very simple upcycle. It was supposed to be a little simpler except for that white mistake of the spray paint. And now I'm going to come back in with my twine and I'm going to tie a knot on one end and I'm going to staple that to the back. Once again, I'm going to come in with my lighter here and clean up all the flyaways and give the rope a nicer look. And once that is done, I will bring back in my stapler and we're going to attach this rope to the back of the little fence board here. And I'm just going to add a staple on each end. Actually, I'm going to add 2 staples on each end. And you see me here a little off camera, but I am twisting the rope so that it's a thicker bind and it gives it a little bit, maybe a decorative touch on the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and, like the first side, I'm going to put the knot in. And then we're going to come in with our staple gun and staple this piece down. And this is just going to be the way to hang this piece. Now this would be cute hanging from a coat rack or even in layered on a shelf somewhere. You know, it's just a cute rustic little piece. Now for the second piece here, it's just a simple mix and match set. I found this little pottery piece and then I found this little stopper second, and I'm going to put those together. And then the next item here, I'm going to leave as is as well. And it's just a very rusty, crusty wire container holder. And here is just a little glass pitcher. And of course, if you saw the thrift haul, you saw this book. And I did go ahead and wipe it, and it still left some of its grime on there. And there we have it, just a simple little vignette that comes together from one simple little upcycle and thrifted items.